Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Andrew.
Why is your chin glowing?
Oh, it's the tablet, sorry. I just flip it over a minute.
But why have you got the tablet on?
I've got the tablet on.
Because we want to say thank you.
Because we want to say thank you to...
No, is it? I think those is O's.
zeros.
Well, if I say O's, it'll cover us both
Yeah.
ways. To OO Hunter OO.
Yes, who has very kindly said hello on the Twitch, in the Twitch chat room.
During the Sea Devils.
During the Sea Devils. I don't know if you can see that. You do it because you can angle better.
So, hello to Lisa and Andrew. Waves. And I did see it go past.
Mm-hmm.
And my sort of jaw hit the floor a bit. And then it went up again a bit later.
Mm.
We don't actually sort of go into the chat room because we haven't actually set it up.
No.
With
But we will have a go at setting it up
login.
over the next day or two.
Well,
so we can chat.
The trouble is, it goes so fast that I'm not sure we can sort of contribute anything that people aren't saying already. But we are watching.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was at work.
You were at work,
Yeah.
but a friend of ours managed to capture it as it went past. So
Yes.
thank you to them also. But that was lovely. So hello.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that people are like
appreciating us.
Are watching
Yes.
this. So
Yes.
yes, I don't quite think we deserve that much of a shout out.
Possibly
but,
not. No.
But thank you. Right. What else have we got? Oh, we'll do the other one. We'll do the other one later.
Okay.
But right. We have to sort of zoom through these a bit because there's quite a few to do today.
Yes.
But first of all, Colony in Space. Now, let me get some of these books you've probably seen before.
Yes.
So
You've watched our videos.
There's the original cover. That's the word. Colonists from Earth under threat from mysterious savage monster lizards with frightful claws. Yeah. Then there's the later book version of it. And they still got frightful claws. And then there's the DVD version of it as well. But it's a long time since I've seen Colony in Space.
Yes.
So I'm a little bit rusty on it. And we were sort of in the car.
Yes.
For a fair bit of it, weren't we?
Yeah.
So we didn't really get a chance to see it, but I was really impressed that we were like driving through the middle of Dorset countryside and you had Colony in Space going.
Yes.
On your phone.
On my phone, watching it.
And I couldn't really identify where we were in the story. Because, as I said, I am a little rusty on this one, so you'll have to help me remember some things in it. But it's first Pertwee on an alien planet.
Yeah, somebody said it's the first Pertwee on it's the first Doctor Who on an alien planet in colour.
Yeah.
For a couple of years.
Well, in colour forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Well, in colour.
Yeah.
But first alien planet, and it's sort of grey.
Well,
and white.
Joe finds that flower at the start with the multicoloured petals and what have you.
Yeah.
And it is reminiscent of the flower that Susan finds in The Dead Planet. Because she finds a flower, doesn't she?
She does.
Just in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
But it's got not a bad cast, has it?
No, it's got a very good cast.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Bernard Kay.
Bernard Kay, who is never less than brilliant in anything I've seen him in.
Yeah. And John Ringham, of course.
John Ringham, yeah.
So, unrecognisable from the Aztecs, I think.
Yes. Maurice Perry.
Yes.
And Tony Coulter.
Yeah.
And the interesting about Tony Coulter's character, people that are fans will know this, but some of the newer people won't know this, is that Tony Coulter's character, Morgan, was originally meant to be a woman.
Oh, was that Susan Jameson?
And they cast Susan Jameson, who is married to James Bolam, and he's in some of the Tom Baker audios, if you've heard any of those.
Right, yeah.
And I think, was it Ronnie Marsh?
Probably Ronnie,
I think it was Ronnie Marsh, saw who they'd cast and saw the script and went, no, you can't have a woman doing that. It'll look too kinky.
Yeah.
So they paid her off and then hired Tony Coulter to come in and play the part.
As a lady woman.
A lady woman.
How do you think that?
I think it would be an interesting idea.
That would have worked.
An interesting idea. Yeah. I don't know, it's difficult to tell.
Would it have ruffled some feathers, do you think?
I think it probably would have ruffled some feathers, yes. I think Mrs. Mary Whitehouse might have had something to say about that.
Okay,
yes.
Interesting.
Yes. But, I mean, it shouldn't have anything to do with the gender of the person. It's the character, isn't it? So,
But I do remember on the DVD, was it Graham Harper? getting all excited about the buggies in it.
Graham Harper gets excited about everything.
Well, he likes things with wheels, doesn't he?
He just likes everything.
Because on his David Tennant episodes, he's got those four-wheel
motorbike
things, because he uses them quite a lot to do sort of various shots.
Yeah, they ride the cameraman riding along on them. It's blooming dangerous to me.
And a couple of years ago, when I was at work, they had one of those. I think they're called Halflands or something. Because it's on an industrial estate, and we were parking in a different area for a couple of weeks, and we'd walk past, and for a couple of days there was one of these there, okay. And I think I was with Helen at the time, and I'd lent Helen a lot of Doctor Who stories up to that point, and I think she'd not long seen Colony in Space, and it was really weird to see one of those in the flesh. It's quite strange. But yeah, I mean, to me, not the most memorable of stories, maybe.
No, I mean, it's still watchable. It's just...
The book's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like the book, because it's that Malcolm Holt thing of going into people's heads as well. And again, it does help you to get more out of the story, I think, if you read the book.
Isn't there a thing in there about the how the married couple, the colonists, married, how they met? They met on a moving walkway or something. Yes.
And being married means that your two bits of paper are stapled together.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know what happens if, like, there's a staple falls out or something. You get to, is that how it works? Yeah. But it's wonderful. Anyway, I said we'll crack on. So on to the demons.
The demons, yes.
So there's one book cover of it. As I said on another video, I was quite scared of that book cover because it was the devil, and then there's a later version of it. Oh, look, it's all shiny. Look. But yeah, I mean, Warren and I have done episode 2 of the demons as one of our in-depth specials, and we managed to get a fair few bits and pieces in there. Yes. Although we did get the name of the village wrong.
Yes.
And I apologise to everybody in Oldbourne, because it is Oldbourne, not Avebury, as we said. We were just overexcited.
Yes, little overexcited boys. But then I got Windsor's name wrong last. I called him Windler, who is of course in the Seeds of Doom.
Yeah. So you meant Windsor in the Claws of Axos.
In the Claws of Axos.
But have you ever been to the village or not?
No.
No. Oh, well, we'll have to.
You should go
see if we can get there. Yes. Get there one day. But what do you think of the demons then?
I like the demons. Yeah. I remember seeing it. First time I saw it was in the repeat season in 1992.
92 was when it was shown. And, yes. I think the video came out a year later.
Yes.
So
and it's good. I don't know what happens to the dog at the start.
Oh yes.
The dog gets squish head or something. But poor dog. But I love Miss Hawthorne. She's wonderfully batty, and I love when they team up with Sergeant Benton. It's such a weird mix, isn't it, of two people.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Sergeant Benton and Captain Yates are in their sort of civilian gear. It gives them a different sort of aspect. Though, who's got the red trousers?
I can't remember.
But
I'd need to look.
Some of them,
in their civvies.
But
but as I've said on because we did talked about it on the podcast. Let's plug the podcast again. Around the Archives podcast. Bear in mind, we should say our Twitter as well, shouldn't we?
Yes.
Because do you want to do our main one? So
well, we've got 2 Twitter accounts. One for just us.
Yeah.
And one for Round the Archives, and the one for just us is at Lisa Cartman.
Yeah.
And the other one's at Round the Archives.
Archive
1.
Yeah, because it didn't quite fit.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were we saying?
If you want to ask any questions, you can do it on either of those.
I like the way it just conjures up a very weird atmosphere with things like the spinning signposts and things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's an unusual sort of way to go in terms of story material, and it's never quite clear how some of the things actually happen.
No.
But it's that thing about advanced science and magic, and not that far apart.
Yes.
I could argue over that, but but in storytelling, I just love it when things happen that are just a bit strange like that, and they're just there for atmosphere. A lot of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we said on the Warren, the video that I did with Warren about the actual alleged appearance of devil's hoof prints in 1855 in Devon. So that's worth looking at. But yeah, again, excellent book as well.
Yes.
Barry Letts comes up with, I think it's quite a long one.
It's quite thick.
Yeah, it's over 170 pages, which later Target books were never near as long as that.
About 120 normally, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's just a lot of good texture and sort of character material in there. Again. Anyway, that's season 8 done and dusted.
Yes.
And we barrel on with, we would have seen Day of the Daleks, except we're not seeing Dalek stories that aren't written by Terry Nation,
which is strange.
It's all I think it's all to do with the rights things again, and I don't want to speculate too much on it here, but because you will get the other Pertwee stories, Dalek stories, because they are Terry Nation ones. So you'll get the 2 Pertwees and you'll get the 2 Tom Bakers.
Yes.
Because they all say Terry Nation at the front.
And then you won't get any more.
Despite some of the material might not actually be Terry Nation.
No, it's got his name on it.
Because you can tell the difference between like Genesis of the Daleks and Destiny of the Daleks. They're 2 very different stories.
And we'll talk about those when we get to those.
But you've got something else to hold up.
I do have something else to hold up.
Okay.
Yes, you do hold it up. And the lovely Martin Holmes.
Martin Holmes has done another Round the Archives Radio Times cover. The archives are back. And there's the Daleks. And what are they saying? And they're saying something to you. And it says, what is it? You are around the archives, you like to chat about old TV, would you like some tea? But there is you as Doctor Who.
Yes, I was very, very pleased when I saw that. Again, thank you very much, Martin.
Yeah.
It's absolutely glorious, and we'll print some of these things out.
Yeah.
Because, some of them deserve some wall space, I think. So, yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's a lovely piece by Martin.
It's based on the cover for the start of season 9, which had the Doctor on it and the Dalek, which was done by Frank Bellamy, who did wonderful art for Radio Times in the 70s. And there is a book out.
But let's briefly talk about you being the Doctor, shall we? I mean, we won't really go into the story because we haven't seen it. So
no.
But it is on DVD.
It is.
And the DVD's actually got 2 versions of the story on there.
It's got the original version and a new version with special effects and different Dalek voices.
Yes.
Because, shall we say, they're not the best Dalek voices in the original story ever. I think somebody forgot how to do them.
Well, they get... 2 actors in that have never done Dalek stories and never do it again.
No.
And Nick Briggs could tell you about the modulation being a bit weird as well.
Yes,
so,
not being quite right.
But it's a very good story.
It is.
Yeah,
it's well worth watching.
It's a very intelligent story, actually.
Yeah. It makes you think. It's not your bog standard Dalek story, is it?
There's a lot going on. Because the Daleks are quite low down in the mix. They're not in it much.
They are,
It does concentrate more on other
And you do get your first view of the Ogrons.
Yeah. But as we said, we'll let you get that on DVD yourself. But you as the Doctor, briefly.
Yes.
You were the Doctor when you were small.
I was the Doctor when I was a child, when I was about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Because I used to, being a huge Doctor Who fan, as I was and I am now, we would play in the garden with my nieces and nephew, and I would be the Doctor. Yeah. And it was obviously Peter Davison had obviously just joined. So that means I was probably actually about 10, 9 or 10.
1982 then.
Yeah. And he would regenerate into me. Didn't last long, obviously. And then we.
Why?
I don't know. There was no reason. He just did. Just did. And my nieces would be Nissa and Tegan.
Yeah.
And my nephew, who was about 2, was supposed to be Adric.
But he didn't want to be Adric.
But he didn't want to be Adric. He wanted to be a Fraggle. And you can't be a Fraggle because the Fraggles aren't in Doctor Who. And he'd be a Fraggle and he'd just hide under a chair.
So what would happen in your story then? Dinosaurs?
We get attacked by dinosaurs.
Was it always dinosaurs?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like dinosaurs. to sort of think about
You
meeting
could
dinosaurs.
argue that Freckles do exist in the extended Doctor Who universe because they're written by
suppose.
Victor Pemberton,
Yeah,
who wrote Fury from the Deep.
All
So
right. Yeah, there is a link.
there is at least
But
a
yeah.
vague link there.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway,
yes,
there
but
we
yes,
go.
I got to be Doctor Who 30 odd years ago.
And finally, Curse of Peladon.
Curse of Peladon. We can't find anything to do
I've
with Curse
looked,
of Peladon at the moment.
I've had a brief look and I can't find the book, neither can I find the DVD.
It's on a shelf.
The trouble with our
over there
filing
somewhere.
system is that it's a little bit random sometimes.
Yes. We haven't got quite enough space to display all our Doctor Who DVDs
No,
in the
so
right
things
order.
have to go to the back of the shelves
Yeah.
and things, don't they?
So it all gets sort of mixed up.
buried. So
Yes.
Curse of Peladon is buried somewhere.
Somewhere, but it is here.
So we shall dredge through the archives. And
But
it's exciting when you find things again,
Yes,
though, isn't
it
it?
is.
You go, oh, look,
So,
forgot
I
we
was
had
looking
that.
for that ages ago.
Yeah.
But Curse of Peladon, David Troughton.
Yes,
David Troughton's first big role in Doctor Who.
first big role, yeah.
Yes.
It's his third appearance
Yes,
in the show.
because he's in
isn't it?
Enemy of the World
He's in
and the War Games.
War Games, but this is his first
Yes.
big part.
Big part, yeah.
But again, it's there's a phrase in the Doctor Who monster book which says a mixed bag of monsters, which I always wondered what a mixed bag of monsters was. So like sort of pick and mix. You take them to the checkout in a little bag and weigh them. But this is a real example of this, isn't it? Because you've got
Alpha Centauri.
yes, Alpha Centauri. You've got Arcturus. You've got the Ice Warrior and the Ice.
Lord.
Well, they're never actually called Ice Lords
They're
on
not called
screen,
Ice
are they?
Lords.
But
They're just-
fandom
they're
sort of
Ice
ended up
Warriors.
calling them that. haven't
Yeah,
they?
they're Ice Warriors and a different Ice Warrior.
It's interesting that they share a room, but there's only one bed.
Yeah, the subservient one has to sleep on the floor.
Oh right, I thought they.
No, they
No.
they might cuddle up, but who knows? Who knows how Ice Warrior,
I don't know.
civilization works?
And-
I mean, we know that the Ice Warrior in the Matt Smith story that I've forgotten what it's called has got a daughter.
Right.
So
Okay.
there are lady Ice Warriors because we saw the Queen in
Yeah.
in the other Mark Gatiss story. God, may I've forgotten all the titles today. But yeah.
But and Agador, of course.
And Agador. Oh, poor bless Agador.
No.
No.
Yeah. But you like furry things, don't
I do
you?
like furry things, but I think Agador might be a step too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pertwee doing his Clocklead a bath and menin clatcheroon.
And I always thought that Agador looks a bit like Alf from Alf.
From Alf.
Or Alf looks like Agador.
What was Alf? Because I never really
Alf
saw
was
it.
an alien, a furry alien.
Okay.
He was a sort of smart-ass furry alien.
What, live action was it? Or cartoon? Or...
Everybody else was live action, he was like a puppet.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't really see it. Sorry.
It's an 80s thing, it was alright.
But again, we're off onto a distant planet. And yes, it was repeated in 1982, but I missed the first half because we had a power cut where I lived.
Oh, God.
So I only got to see episodes 3 and 4 because it was done as a two-parter with
Oh, right,
parts
yeah,
1 and
yeah.
2 and 3 and 4 sort of joined together. I know that because they found a colour tape of it, I think it might have been Canada again, one of the episodes was in a right old state and they could only play it for a few seconds before it gunged up the tape machine.
God, okay.
So they had to like play it for a few seconds, take it out, clean the machine, put it back in again, and eventually they got a salvaged copy out of it. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, I mean that was in the early 80s. I don't know whether that tape even is playable now.
No.
I don't know. I think they might have had another go at it for the DVD release.
All right.
But yeah, I mean you've got John Pertwee being the Earth delegate.
Yes.
Delegate.
Well, he's delicate.
He is delicate. And what was it? Joe says, "Come on, you love all this Earth delegate stuff." Can't say. But yeah, he's having fun, sort of hobnobbing with royalty, isn't he?
And the
basically?
Princess Jojo Grant.
Joe Grant. Joe, yes, of TARDIS.
And she has a little bit of a romance
Sort
with
of.
David Troughton.
Yeah.
And then there is a sequel to Curse of Peladon, which is Monster of Peladon, which is all following sometime next week probably.
Yeah.
And there is another member of the royal family of Peladon.
Yeah.
It's not the king, and she might bear a passing resemblance to Joe Grant.
Our friend Fiona always used to say that the Queen does look a bit like Joe.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how that's supposed to work.
No idea.
No, unless something happened and the doctor takes her back so she can.
But we give birth. That was a misprint in DWP about Sandra Dickinson.
I know. It was too good not to say.
Give birth. But yeah, it's I think it's again an interesting range of stories, all very different.
Yes.
And what have we got going on now? We've got the Sea Devils.
Sea Devils and the Mittens.
And the Mutants. We'll do that joke next time.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll say good night now, and again I'll upload this in the morning, I think. But thank you to everyone who's sort of
watching and engaging,
having fun.
We're glad you're enjoying them.
Yes,
I hope you continue to enjoy them.
Yes.
And we can go on for ages about this.
Oh yes, but now it's time for tea, isn't it?
Yes.
So, cup of tea.
Okay.
Well, I want a cup of tea.
I want a cup of tea too from making tea.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.